One second. Okay, I have to clear up a major misconception. This is Snow, GW Shield, aka SnowRat, aka Frozen SnowRat, aka Golden SnowRat. People think that I have a perfect life and that my life is epic and everything. When I say that I have had the hardest life, I don't just say that, just to sound cool. A lot of people think I'm just saying things to sound cool. I actually, there's a lot of truth. I mean, I say things, because that there's a lot of truth behind what I say. People think I say things as a catch slogan or as a way to sound cool. I don't say these things to sound cool and everything. And I understand a lot of people are saying, why don't you have you should have a high quality girlfriend. You should have like an epic girlfriend. You should have the hottest girlfriend. The kind of, because a lot of people think really highly of me. Understand this. I've come a long ways. This is story time with Snow. That this is hard for me to talk about. You know, I because I um, forgave, let go, and forgot. I can't remember a lot of this stuff, but I remember bits. I remember just the general stuff of it. I don't exactly remember what exactly happened, but I remember it's it's kind of hard to explain, but I basically forgot all the wrong that's been done to me. But I kind of remember, but I don't really remember. Basically, what happened is, years ago when I started on this light path, I was all big in the light. I was so against the dark forces. I was so against the L, the C, the OB, the DF. I was against the reptilians. Uh, I was against all these people. I was against the dark forces majorly. And I didn't realize that a lot of dark force. I didn't realize that I grew up with the dark forces. I grew up as my family members being the dark forces. I grew up where basically a lot of people that I grew up with were of these dark forces and working closely with these dark forces. And I um, actually, this is gonna sound funny. I really want to. I mean, if my significant other lets me, I want to out of um, name my son after a very great light side reptilian commander. It's a light side reptilian commander that I have a tremendous amount of respect for. His name is. I'm still trying to figure out how to pronounce it properly. It's Hosis. I'm still trying to figure out how to pronounce it properly. I mean, I wish I was able to communicate with it, but I mean, I learned. I mean, he basically taught me what the reptilians are really about. Because the reptilians, they're having a battle of their own. You know, a lot of people think that reptilians are evil and bad, but they're having their own struggles. They're having their own war. I mean, there's many different groups. I mean, like I said, there's many different groups everywhere. And so back to my story. I mean, I was actually getting trained by some of the most legendary light workers and light people that there is. And for a long time, I was against the dark side. I was totally against them. I hated the L, the C, and the OB, and the DF, and the reptilians, and the Greys. I hated them with a passion. You know, and I didn't realize I had a lot of struggles. I had a lot of growing up to be, and it took me a lot to get to this point. And then they came a time where when I came to the realization that I grew up with the dark forces. The dark forces are a lot of my family. The dark forces are my close friends, and I had a choice, back then, to either go full head with the, because a lot of the super elite light workers who actually trained me, they moved on to it. They actually ascended. They all, and I had a choice to go with them. I had the choice to take that ship or whatever, but I had knew that wasn't my path. I came to this realization, and this is all true stories, by the way. and I had a lot of love for these, the people I grew up with. Many of them are dark force people. Many of them are evil people, dark people. They've hurt people. They've done some evil stuff to people, and I chose to not I because back then I was, I come from a family, we have a lot of Marines. I don't believe in leaving anybody behind. I don't believe in the I instead of leave no man behind, I say leave nobody behind. Man, woman, child, whatever. Don't leave anybody behind. And I stood by that philosophy back then, and I decided to get my to skip my free ticket because as I realized that was not my path, to ascend with them, and I decided to stay and devote my life to basically be a doormat for both the dark and the light. And I've met a lot of the dark forces. I've met I've learned about a lot of the dark force people, the L, the C, the reptilians. I've learned a lot about their people, their cultures, their philosophy and everything. And I died, and the, when you have an understanding of people, when you have an understanding of the dark side, when you have an understanding of the whole scope of things, not just your world or your life, but if you have a complete understanding of the systems of how everything is is how everything's done, you will have the kind of respect and love. So sometimes it's hard to love things you don't understand, but when you understand, it's easy for you to love. That's why it's easy for me to love people. That's why it's easy for me to love. So a lot of people say, how can you love somebody who's done this evil stuff and everything? Because I understand them. I completely understand where they come from, and the struggles they went through, and because there's there's a lot going on that people just don't understand. That people just, people will understand someday. Because when the full disclosure happens, that there's gonna, I will be able to see a lot of stuff. A lot of people like me will say what was really going on, and people will come to understand it, that that I shouldn't have been hard on these people. I shouldn't have been hateful. I should have loved them. You know, because this is some groundbreaking information. The planet someday will be one unified country. We, you know, the reason why the reason why we're having so many troubles is because all the other people in the galaxy, they're all unified. You know, but we're the first planet with free will, so but when we become unified, because we're all basically every in the future, everybody's going to be on my level and everybody's going to be their own god. We are going to be a force to be reckoned with. Because the other races, other people in the galaxy, they're not all one. They're not all god people. I mean, that's why the Arcturians are so badass. Is because they're all their own person, and they're all unified, and they're all like godlike people. That's why the Pleiadians. That's why they're such badasses. That's why the Arcturians have the best military in the world, because they're all of their own person, but they're unified. They're together. They're all. It's basically having billions of god people. How can you go against billions of godlike people? I mean, that's basically what the Arcturians. That's why the Arcturians have the strongest military. That's why that nobody can defeat them, because they literally have, you know, billions of of their own gods as one group. And they all work as one. Arcturians are like the dream team, and that's where we're going. I mean, someday we're gonna be that. We're gonna be like that. I mean, because we're special. A lot of you don't understand that the angels, the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, they don't deal with all this trouble, all this strife. They don't deal with all these hardships. Their life is easy and stuff like that. So they actually learn from us when we get our act together, when we get the ball rolling, when we stop spinning our wheels. They'll learn a lot from us. They're already learning a lot from us now. I know that may seem hard that that an angel and an archangel can actually learn from us. But they actually learn from us because they don't have the same situations. They, you know, everything's easy for them. You know, we're sitting here trying to overcome struggle. We're trying to overcome new stuff all the time. You know, we're constantly adapting. That's we are special. We're gonna be basically there's gonna be like there. Okay, this is gonna sound kind of hard to believe, but this is actually true stuff. We're gonna have 45 trillion godlike people on the planet here in the future. I mean, we're gonna have floating cities. We're gonna be all one unified group. We're gonna all, you know, we're basically gonna be how we are now, but we're gonna just be more advanced. And everybody's gonna want to play. People are gonna play video games. You know, we're gonna have like a lot of me's. We're gonna have like 45 trillion godlike individuals. Because a lot of these star people, they're not individuals. You know, they're under control. You know, there's not individuality in a lot of you know, that's what happens when you have free will. That's why we're such a special planet. That's why this is the hardest you know planet of the school of all the galaxy, because you know basically everybody's their own person. It just you folks have to get to when we get to the point where all of us are on my level, we can get up to the fourth level, we can get up to the fifth. Even though we're on the fifth density, we're not there yet. You know, we're actually coming into third third level kind of people, into a fifth dimension kind of people. When we get up to that fifth level in a fifth dimension kind of place, we are gonna be a force to be reckoned with. And when we get up to the sixth and seventh, you know, level on the sixth and seventh dimension, we are gonna be badass. I mean, but like I said, we're in the baby stages. We're only on the start of this, so we got a long ways to go. You know, that's why I say, you know, always positive, happy, and hopeful, because you know, great things are coming. You gotta believe that. I am your inner holy shield. You know, I am your power. I'm trying to, you know, someday the whole world is going to unlock their inner holy shield, and they're going to unlock their inner Buddha, they're going to unlock their inner Christ, and we're going to be 45 trillion, you know, of people of their own, you know, their own gods. So we're basically going to be 45 trillion, you know, godlike people everywhere. I mean, we're going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I've been told this, but we're gonna have the strongest military in the whole. We're gonna be up there with Arcturians with our military might. I mean, we're gonna be pretty badasses. But you know, you know, we're in the baby stages. You know, we're gonna get there. So this is sorry my tangent, but this is just inspiration for all of you. Something special for you, a special video. I hope you all enjoy this. I love you all very much. And remember, positive, happy, and hopeful at all times. Doesn't matter if you're thug life, if you're a businessman, a business owner. Always positive, happy, and hopeful. That's gonna help you in some hard times. It's gonna help you in some good times. It's gonna help you in all times. Have an awesome night, and sleep with the angels. I mean, I gotta get a lot of work done. I gotta start cleaning. I gotta clean all night. I gotta, cause you know, I'm planning on making this place look epic, and then I'm gonna have people come over. I'm gonna, you know, who knows? I may do, you know, I may be able to, you know, produce some more special stuff, you know, for for more than just you folks, for a lot of other people, you know, people that don't have access to internet and stuff. Well, have an awesome night. Thank you.